The grasslands stretch to the horizon, where the sun casts its glow over the endless waves of gold and green in the North American grasslands. This is one of the largest ecosystems on the continent, a boundless world spanning from the prairies of southern Canada through the central United States and reaching as far as northern Mexico. Covering more than 1.4 million square kilometers, this ecosystem is home to countless species of wildlife, from seasoned predators to prey guided by instinct. Beneath the deep soil of the North American grasslands, time has etched traces of an entirely different past. More than 100 million years ago, during the late Cretaceous period, these vast grasslands did not exist. Instead, a massive inland sea, known as the Western Interior Seaway, stretched from the Gulf of Mexico to the Arctic, splitting North America into two separate landmasses. Waves crashed against barren shores, where ancient marine reptiles like Mosasaurus and Plesiosaurus hunted among immense schools of fish. As the Earth changed, the ocean gradually receded. Seawater deposited layers of mineral-rich sediments for millions of years, forming the fertile soil that would later lay the foundation for the grassland ecosystem. By around 25 million years ago, during the Miocene epoch, mountain ranges in the western United States, such as the Rocky Mountains, began to rise, dramatically shaping the region's climate. Rainfall became scarcer, temperatures grew drier, and dense forests gradually gave way to a new landscape, vast prairies stretching from Canada to Mexico. Not only vast, the North American grasslands also hold an astonishing level of ecological diversity. The climate here is not uniform, but varies across regions, creating a natural world with distinct landscapes. More than 1,500 plant species thrive across these prairies, from tall grass meadows in the east to drought-resistant shrubs in the west. This vegetation forms the foundation that sustains hundreds of animal species. Approximately 350 bird species call these grasslands home. Some are permanent residents, while others pass through on migrations spanning thousands of kilometers. Every spring and fall, the grassland skies come alive. Flocks of birds stretch into long formations, soaring across the vast open sky, pausing to rest and feed before continuing their journey north or south. Starting with the Tallgrass Prairie, where the grasslands stretch endlessly and vegetation can grow taller than a full-grown adult. This is one of the most fertile grassland regions in North America, sustained by abundant rainfall ranging from 600 to 1,000 millimeters per year. Summer rains nourish the nutrient-rich soil, fueling the growth of warm-season grasses such as Indian grass, big bluestem, and switchgrass. These dense, sturdy grasses form an endless green expanse, providing both food and shelter for countless animal species. This land is one of North America's most vital ecosystems. Beneath the vegetation lies a biological treasure trove, holding vast amounts of organic matter accumulated over thousands of years. The hands of creation have shaped an ideal environment to sustain the natural carbon cycle, allowing the soil to retain essential nutrients. Amid these vast grasslands, life unfolds in its own unique ways. Herds of American bison roam, trampling over the thick grasses, exposing the fertile soil beneath. The hoofprints they leave behind form small depressions that collect rainwater, attracting countless insects and small animals. With their massive bodies standing 1.5 to 2 meters tall and weighing up to 1,000 kilograms, bison are among the largest land mammals in North America. A single American bison can consume over 10 kilograms of grass per day, ensuring the continuous nutrient cycle within the ecosystem. They also aid in seed dispersal as their thick fur brushes against the vegetation. Their social structure is highly organized. Females and their young live in large herds, while males often lead solitary lives or form small bachelor groups, joining the female herds only during the mating season from July to September. The strongest males protect small groups of females for mating, while weaker ones wait for a chance to challenge. Despite their bulky appearance, bison possess remarkable speed, capable of running up to 56 kilometers per hour when threatened. Their short but sturdy horns, about 60 centimeters long, serve as crucial weapons during male confrontations in the breeding season. In winter, as icy winds sweep across the prairies, they use their heads and shoulders to push aside the snow, searching for hidden dry grasses beneath. When autumn arrives, they tend to gather in areas with more trees, where they rub their horns against cedars and pines, coating themselves in natural oils that help repel insects. But Tallgrass Prairie, once home to the largest bison herds, has vanished by more than 95%. Only a few scattered reserves remain, such as Tallgrass Prairie National Preserve, where conservationists are working tirelessly to restore native grasses and re-establish the disrupted ecological cycle. These habitat restoration efforts not only bring bison back, but also help rebalance the ecosystem, from soil microorganisms to migratory birds that depend on these grasslands. The Tallgrass Prairie stretches endlessly, swaying gently in the breeze. White-tailed deer emerge like silent figures among the tall grasses. They once roamed vast, untouched prairies where food was abundant and predators maintained balance. But now, their habitat is shrinking, forcing them to adapt their way of life to survive. In spring and summer, their reddish-brown coats help them blend into the dense grasslands. By fall and winter, their fur shifts to a grayish-brown, providing camouflage in the drier landscape. Adapted to a diverse diet, white-tailed deer can digest a wide range of vegetation thanks to their four-chambered stomachs. Even plants containing toxins, such as poison ivy or certain poisonous mushrooms, pose no threat to their digestion. When minerals are scarce, they may engage in osteophagy, chewing on animal bones to replenish calcium. Although they spend most of their time feeding on vegetation, they are also known to be opportunistic feeders, occasionally consuming bird eggs, voles, or even birds caught in nets. Currently, white-tailed deer populations are stable, but population control remains essential for maintaining ecological balance. Each deer consumes approximately 900 kilograms of vegetation per year, directly impacting plant growth. When population density exceeds 8 deer per square kilometer, overgrazing can degrade the habitat, placing excessive pressure on vegetation. In some areas, this affects young tree species, reducing forest cover and indirectly impacting many other wildlife species. Conservation areas like Tallgrass Prairie National Preserve in Kansas actively monitor deer numbers to prevent overpopulation and habitat degradation. Legal hunting programs are also implemented to help regulate their numbers, preserving vegetation resources for other wildlife within the grassland ecosystem. The deep blue sky stretches across the vast grasslands of Flint Hills, where the rolling waves of the Tallgrass Prairie extend to the horizon. This region is one of the last remaining tallgrass prairies in North America, holding a unique ecosystem with rich biodiversity. In summer, warm winds sweep through the waist-high grasses, carrying the earthy scent of soil and sun-drenched vegetation. In winter, cold northern winds transform this expansive landscape into a frozen, untouched wilderness. Heavy rains from April to June allow grasses to flourish, providing an abundant food source for grazing animals. But these same rains, combined with summer lightning strikes, have shaped one of the most defining characteristics of this ecosystem: natural grass fires. Fires sweep across the prairie, burning away old vegetation and creating space for new generations of grass to grow even stronger. Big bluestem and Indian grass rapidly regenerate after each fire, sustaining a thousands-year-old cycle of renewal. The balance of this ecosystem is maintained not only by nature, but also through thoughtful conservation efforts. One of the most crucial management strategies is controlling white-tailed deer populations through regulated hunting programs. When deer populations grow too large, the increased grazing pressure threatens vegetation, disrupting the ecological balance. By issuing controlled hunting permits, conservationists ensure that deer numbers remain stable, minimizing negative impacts on native plant species. The ruler of these grasslands is the gray wolf. They are apex predators, a symbol of strength, perseverance, and masterful hunting strategy, creating balance within the North American grassland ecosystem. From the frozen northern forests to the sprawling central plains, gray wolves have evolved over hundreds of thousands of years to become master hunters. They share a common ancestor with domestic dogs, but have developed distinct traits to adapt to a pack-hunting lifestyle. As the largest surviving member of the Canidae family, they have strong builds, rounder ears, and broader muzzles compared to other Canis species. Their fur varies depending on habitat, ranging from white in the Arctic, gray in Canada, to brown in the southern United States and Mexico. In winter, a dense undercoat beneath their long, coarse guard hairs helps them endure the harsh cold, withstanding temperatures as low as -40 degrees Celsius. A pack lifestyle is the key to gray wolves' hunting success. A typical pack consists of a dominant breeding pair along with their offspring from previous years. They move as a family unit, working in close coordination to take down prey much larger than themselves. In North America, their primary food sources include white-tailed deer, mule deer, and elk, though larger packs have been known to hunt bison. When hunting such massive prey, packs with a higher number of males have the advantage, using their strength to take down the powerful target. Grey wolves communicate through body language, ear and tail gestures, and howling, allowing them to maintain contact across vast grasslands. Their howls serve multiple purposes, not only marking territory, but also helping pack members locate one another over long distances. When winter arrives, they travel hundreds of kilometers in search of prey. Patience is their greatest weapon. When spotting a target, wolves do not immediately attack. They move silently, staying downwind to avoid detection before strategically positioning themselves. A dominant wolf may close in from behind while others flank from the sides, forcing the prey into a vulnerable position. Weaker or injured individuals quickly become primary targets. If the prey is a bison, larger male wolves take the lead, biting at its hind legs to throw it off balance before the entire pack joins in to bring it down. At the heart of the North American Grasslands, a vast expanse stretches from Canada to Texas, where endless fields extend to the horizon. The landscape remains uninterrupted by dense forests or rugged mountains, only open prairies where wildlife must adapt to harsh weather conditions to survive. The Great Plains are deeply tied to the long history of indigenous tribes such as the Sioux, Cheyenne, and Blackfoot. Before European settlers arrived, this was the land of skilled hunters who knew every ridge and river. These tribes relied on bison herds for survival, using every part of the animal for food, clothing, and tools. Their oral traditions tell of the changing seasons and how tornadoes were not only destructive forces, but also helped replenish the soil after each storm. Despite its harsh conditions, the Great Plains remain one of the most biodiverse regions on the continent. Each spring and fall, the skies fill with millions of migratory birds passing through, seeking resting spots on their long journey north and south. These ancient migration routes have existed for thousands of years, playing a vital role in maintaining the prairie's ecological balance. Across the vast grasslands, where the sky seems to stretch endlessly, sharp, high-pitched calls ring out from the tall grasses. These are the alarm calls of the black-tailed prairie dog, a small rodent with an irreplaceable role in the North American grassland ecosystem. Once widespread from Canada's border to northern Mexico, they thrived in massive colonies, interconnected by an intricate network of underground tunnels. But as humans expanded agriculture, one of the prairie's most important ecosystem engineers began to lose its habitat. With a body length of 35 to 41 centimeters and a weight ranging from 850 to 1,675 grams, the black-tailed prairie dog has a golden brown coat, a lighter colored belly, and a short tail with a distinctive black tip. Its name comes from its dog-like barks, which serve as a primary form of communication within the colony. They are highly social animals, organizing themselves into large towns that can stretch across hundreds of hectares. Each town is divided into smaller family groups, called coteries. Each coterie consists of one dominant male, 1 to 4 females, and their young. This structured social system helps them survive constant threats from predators and the harsh prairie environment. black-tailed prairie dogs, adapt to a variety of terrains, from flat plains to low rolling hills with slopes exceeding 5 degrees. Of the 86 colonies recorded in Mellette County, South Dakota, 30 were found near streams and wetlands, 30 on gentle hills, and the rest in flatlands or barren badlands. Unlike some prairie dog species, they do not hibernate completely. Their grazing behavior plays a key role in maintaining the prairie's ecological balance. By consuming grasses and leaves, they regulate plant growth and create open spaces that benefit other species. Habitats with black-tailed prairie dogs tend to support higher biodiversity, as their modification of vegetation attracts various bird and insect species. They are also a critical food source for many predators, especially the black-footed ferret, a species that relies entirely on them for survival. Across the endless grasslands, mule deer move quietly through the open prairies. Their large, mule-like ears allow them to pick up the faintest sounds, staying alert to any lurking threats. This native deer species of North America inhabits the western Great Plains, the Rocky Mountains, the southwestern United States, and the western coastal regions of the continent. In their search for food and shelter, they continuously adapt to the ever-changing natural environment. With a strong build, mule deer range in length from 1.2 to 2.1 meters and weigh between 55 and 150 kilograms. Their most distinctive feature is their uniquely branching antlers, where each main tine splits in two, unlike the single-axis growth of white-tailed deer. Mature males grow antlers in late spring, covered in a soft, velvety layer that provides nutrients and protection during development. By the breeding season, this velvet sheds, revealing a hardened set of antlers used in combat for mating rites. After the rut, antlers begin to shed in January or early February, marking the start of a new cycle. As autumn arrives, they leave the lower grasslands, moving to higher elevations to avoid harsh winter conditions, where deep snow may cover food sources. When spring returns and fresh grasses begin to sprout, they follow familiar migration routes back to the lower valleys. Notably, their migration is not driven by immediate food availability, but rather by cognitive memory. These seasonal paths are passed down through generations, ensuring their survival despite shifting environmental conditions. Over hundreds of kilometers, mule deer faces many challenges. Young fawns must learn to travel in herds, avoiding predators like gray wolves, mountain lions, and coyotes. When sensing danger, they use a distinctive escape technique called stotting, where they leap high into the air with all four legs at once. This not only aids movement across rough terrain, but also signals to predators that they are strong and fast, discouraging an attack. Within the Great Plains ecosystem, mule deer influence vegetation structure by grazing on grasses and shrubs, preventing overgrowth. They also serve as a key food source for large predators, ensuring the natural food chain remains intact. However, habitat fragmentation caused by roads, fences, and human settlements is disrupting their migration routes, making seasonal access to food more difficult. Climate change is further complicating mule deer migration. Shifts in vegetation growth patterns are weakening the effectiveness of their green wave migration, where they track the emergence of new grass for optimal nutrition. Additionally, shrinking migration corridors due to urban development and resource extraction have isolated many mule deer populations, reducing genetic diversity and threatening their long-term survival. The endless grasslands of the Great Plains stretch to the horizon, where strong winds sweep across the rolling fields, painting a majestic landscape of North America's largest prairie ecosystem. Trails weave through the open plains, guiding visitors deep into the wild. Here, they can witness herds of free-roaming bison or observe raptors soaring high above the sky. Well-placed camping sites allow visitors to spend the night immersed in nature, where the sunset bathes the grasslands in crimson light and the night unveils an unpolluted sky full of stars. The American Prairie Reserve is steadily restoring an ecosystem that was nearly lost. More than just a wildlife refuge, it is an ambitious project aimed at reviving a landscape that was once home to millions of bison and a vast array of native flora and fauna. As the sun sets over the rolling hills, herds of elk move gracefully through the endless sea of grass. They are among the largest deer species in North America, second only to the moose, with powerful builds and massive antlers that symbolize dominance in the wild. Once, elk herds ranged across the continent, from Yukon in Canada to northern Mexico, weaving through the dense forests of the Rocky Mountains and crossing the vast prairies of the Great Plains. But human expansion has drastically reduced their habitat, pushing them into a centuries-long struggle for survival. Each summer, elk migrate to higher elevations, where lush meadows provide rich nutrition. As autumn arrives, they return to lower grasslands to escape deep snow and harsh winter conditions. This seasonal migration not only grants them access to food, but also serves as a critical survival strategy against predators like gray wolves and mountain lions. With a tight social structure, large female herds move together, while mature males either form small bachelor groups or live alone. As late August approaches, males and females reunite, marking the beginning of intense competition among dominant bulls. Under the pale moonlight, the resonant bugling of male elk echoes across the prairie. This distinctive call signals the start of the mating season. Dominant bulls display their towering antlers, engaging in fierce battles for the right to mate. Their antlers grow at a rate of 2.5 centimeters per day during the growth phase, serving as primary weapons in these confrontations. Covered in soft, blood-rich velvet, the antlers are nurtured throughout development, but shed their velvet covering by late summer, revealing a hardened, formidable structure. During this period, testosterone levels peak, fueling dominant behavior. But as the mating season ends, hormone levels decline, triggering antler shedding in late winter, marking the start of a new cycle. Elk are herbivores, consuming an average of 9.1 kilograms of vegetation per day. In warmer months, they feed on fresh grasses and nutrient-rich herbs. During winter, they shift to bark and twigs, sustaining their energy through the cold. With highly developed senses, especially hearing and smell, they can detect danger from afar, ready to flee at the slightest disturbance. When pursued, elk can reach speeds of 72 kilometers per hour, maintaining their pace over long distances, making them a challenging target even for the most formidable predators. Within the Great Plains ecosystem, elk play a crucial role in regulating vegetation growth, helping to maintain a balance between plant species and open grasslands. As they move, they disturb the soil, scattering seeds and encouraging plant regeneration. Their presence also provides a vital food source for predators and scavengers, supporting the broader ecosystem. But in the 19th century, overhunting and habitat loss led to severe population declines, bringing elk to the brink of extinction in many areas. Thanks to conservation programs and ecological restoration efforts, elk populations are gradually recovering. At American Prairie Reserve, one of North America's largest prairie conservation areas, elk are making a comeback in wild conditions. This reserve is rebuilding a near-pristine ecosystem where elk and countless other species can thrive naturally once again. To the west, the ecosystem transitions into the mixed grass prairie, where the vegetation is shorter and more scattered. This ecosystem spans a vast portion of the North American grasslands, receiving 300 to 600 millimeters of rainfall per year. Moisture is not as abundant as in the Tallgrass Prairie, yet it is not as arid as the landscapes further west. The biodiversity of the mixed grass prairie reflects the intersection of different climates. Many grass species possess deep root systems, reaching several meters underground, allowing them to tap into hidden water sources. This adaptation enables them to survive prolonged droughts, even when the ground cracks and the sky remains cloudless. Summers here can be intensely hot and dry, with temperatures rising to 35 degrees Celsius. Powerful storms sweep through, sometimes bringing heavy rainfall, but also carrying tornadoes, which can strip away vegetation and disrupt the ecosystem. Wildlife must constantly adapt to survive. Herding herbivores migrate in search of greener pastures. Small rodents burrow deep underground, creating intricate tunnel networks to shield themselves from predators above. Winter brings a dramatic shift in climate. Cold northern winds descend, covering the prairie in a blanket of snow. The landscape of the mixed grass prairie is not just flat, open fields, but also features deep canyons and rolling hills. This rugged terrain creates shadowed hiding spots, where the mountain lion patiently waits for unsuspecting prey to pass by. Its sleek body moves effortlessly through the brush, each step silent and precise. No other predator in the region can match its patience and power. As one of North America's largest wild cats, the mountain lion is highly adaptable to varied environments, from mountain forests and deserts to open grasslands. It is the only member of the genus Puma, separate from the big cats of Panthera like jaguars and lions, yet it retains the hunting prowess of its larger relatives. In Lakota Sioux legend, the mountain lion is revered as a spiritual protector of warriors, a symbol of strength and courage. In the wild, they are solitary hunters, maintaining vast territories to secure food sources. A male's range can span up to 1,000 square kilometers, while females occupy smaller territories between 50 and 400 square kilometers. These lands serve not just as hunting grounds, but also as safe spaces for raising young. Despite its large size, the mountain lion has a light skeletal frame and flexible muscles, allowing it to climb more effortlessly than any other large cat. It does not rely on sprinting, but when necessary, it can reach speeds of 80 kilometers per hour over short distances. However, most hunts are silent pursuits. They move undetected through the brush, following natural trails and using darkness and terrain to close in on prey unnoticed. With a muscular body stretching up to 2.4 meters, they can leap 6 to 12 meters in a single bound. When striking, they launch onto their prey's back, using powerful jaws to deliver a suffocating bite to the neck. These lethal pounces can bring down fully grown mule deer, their primary prey in the grasslands. On average, a mountain lion hunts one large prey animal every 10 to 14 days. After a successful kill, they drag the carcass to a secluded spot, covering it with grass and dirt, returning to feed over several days. This efficient hunting method conserves energy while also providing food for scavengers like coyotes, bald eagles, and golden eagles. By controlling ungulate populations, mountain lions indirectly enhance biodiversity, preventing overgrazing and maintaining grassland health. Despite being an apex predator, mountain lions have faced severe threats. During the 19th and early 20th centuries, they were nearly eradicated in many regions due to livestock conflicts and competition with humans. As bison and elk populations collapsed, their food sources dwindled, leading to a rapid decline in mountain lion numbers. Today, while they are protected in many areas, they still face habitat loss due to urban expansion and the fragmentation of migration corridors. In the mixed grass prairie, their ecological role is irreplaceable. They regulate populations of white-tailed deer, mule deer, and other grazers, ensuring balance between herbivores and vegetation. However, as agriculture and development expand, their territories shrink, making survival more difficult. Conservationists are working to establish ecological corridors, allowing mountain lions to travel between protected areas without encountering human-made barriers. Behind the mountain lion, coyotes lurk patiently, waiting for the right moment to approach the abandoned carcass. Their howls echo across the vast prairie, carrying through the open grasslands. During the harsh winter months, when food becomes scarce, they rely heavily on scavenging from large ungulate kills. In less difficult times, their diet becomes highly flexible, including mice, hares, birds, insects, and even fruits and seeds. For thousands of years, coyotes have thrived across North America, from Canada to Mexico. Unlike their larger cousin, the gray wolf, coyotes are smaller, faster, and far more cunning. With tall ears, proportionally larger skulls, and slender faces, they are built for survival in grassland environments. In indigenous cultures such as the Lakota and Navajo, coyotes are mythological figures, often portrayed as tricksters or spirits teaching survival lessons. Though often seen as opportunists, coyotes are also skilled hunters. They frequently hunt in pairs or small groups when targeting larger prey. Depending on resource availability, they may live in small family units or form larger packs. A dominant male and female typically lead the group, while younger members stay for a time before leaving to find their own territory. Coyotes lack the raw power to bring down fully grown mule deer or white-tailed deer in a head-on attack, but their hunting strategy is highly effective. They stalk their prey using persistence hunting techniques, cutting off escape routes before attacking the tendons and legs to exhaust their target. Once the prey collapses, the entire pack rushes in, ensuring that nothing goes to waste from their hard-earned meal. The adaptability of coyotes has allowed them to expand their range from grasslands to forests, deserts, and even human suburbs. They are not picky about shelter, requiring only enough vegetation for cover and a steady food source to survive. Unlike the gray wolf, which tends to avoid human settlements, coyotes are increasingly present near urban areas, taking advantage of easily accessible food sources such as trash and small domestic animals. During winter, as the prairie is blanketed in snow, coyotes rely on keen hearing and sharp eyesight to locate prey. They can detect subtle movements beneath the snow and pinpoint the sound of tiny creatures scurrying below. The setting sun casts a golden-orange glow over the limestone ridges and deep valleys of Badlands National Park, illuminating the rugged terrain that was once the floor of an ancient sea millions of years ago. During the Paleocene epoch, around 60 million years ago, this region was a coastal lowland where rivers emptied into the sea, depositing sediments and the remains of prehistoric creatures. Over time, layers of sediment accumulated, preserving fossils of extinct species. As the Black Hills rose from the Earth's crust, this area underwent intense erosion, exposing colorful geological layers and revealing one of North America's richest fossil deposits. Fossils of Titanother, a distant relative of the modern rhinoceros, lie embedded within the eroded rock formations. Remains of Hyenodon, a prehistoric predator that once dominated this region millions of years ago, remain remarkably intact in the soft earth. These fossils provide a detailed glimpse into the past, revealing that today's grasslands were once a lush, tropical environment teeming with giant animals. Over millions of years, environmental changes have shaped the present-day ecosystem. As the climate became drier, dense forests disappeared, giving way to vast prairies. Plants like blue grama and little bluestem evolved deep root systems, allowing them to withstand prolonged droughts. Today, Badlands National Park is one of America's most significant fossil discovery sites. Visitors can join geological tours, exploring the remains of ancient creatures from the Oligocene and Miocene epochs. Trails wind through the multicolored rock formations, where stacked sediment layers tell the Earth's history one era at a time. Sunset tours offer a chance to witness the breathtaking beauty of the Badlands as the sun dips below the jagged rock formations, casting long shadows over the ancient landscape. Across the rugged terrain, bighorn sheep continue a thousands-year-old struggle for survival. Their split hooves provide a secure grip on steep, slippery rock surfaces, allowing them to move swiftly across cliffs without losing balance. Their ancestors crossed the Bering Land Bridge from Siberia during the Pleistocene epoch, around 750,000 years ago, settling in North America's highlands and grasslands. Herds gradually migrated south, expanding from Baja California to northwestern Mexico, forming a vast population numbering in the millions. But then, the world changed. Diseases from European livestock and unregulated hunting during the 19th century pushed the species to the brink of extinction. By 1900, only a few thousand remained. Yet, nature did not abandon them. Thanks to conservation efforts, the bighorn sheep population in Badlands National Park has recovered, now numbering between 250 and 300 individuals. Horns are the symbol of strength for the bighorn sheep. Males, known as rams, carry massive curved horns weighing up to 14 kilograms, more than the combined weight of their entire skeletal structure. Females, called ewes, also have horns, but they are smaller and less curved. The body size of bighorn sheep varies by sex. A mature ram stands 100 centimeters tall at the shoulder and weighs between 58 and 143 kilograms. A ewe is smaller, around 90 centimeters tall, with a weight ranging from 34 to 91 kilograms. Their social structure is well defined. Males live in separate groups, only joining herds during the mating season. When the time comes, battles erupt. Two rams stand face to face, rear up on their hind legs, and then charge at speeds of 32 kilometers per hour. The clash of horns echoes across the mountains, sometimes lasting for hours until one competitor yields. Meanwhile, ewes and lambs move in larger herds, relying on group instincts for protection against predators. Bighorn sheep rely not only on physical strength, but also on specialized digestion for survival. With a 4-chambered stomach, they repeatedly chew and digest food, extracting the maximum amount of nutrients from grasses and shrubs. During winter, they seek out natural salt licks, consuming sodium and calcium to maintain strong bones and muscles. This adaptation allows them to endure the extreme conditions of Badlands National Park. More than just survivors, bighorn sheep play a crucial ecological role in the mixed grass prairie. By grazing on grasses and shrubs, they regulate plant growth, ensuring a balanced native ecosystem. They also serve as a key prey species for mountain lions and golden eagles. Additionally, as they roam the grasslands, they spread seeds, aiding in ecosystem regeneration. Despite their recovery, bighorn sheep still faces numerous threats. Respiratory diseases from domestic livestock remain a serious concern. Climate change alters temperature and rainfall patterns, affecting food availability. Habitat loss due to human expansion continues to reduce their natural range. Among the towering cliffs of the Badlands, bighorn sheep continue their journey. Their curved horns rise toward the sky. Their sure-footed steps carry them across treacherous ledges. They have survived the harshest challenges and still fight to secure their place in the wild. Across the open prairie, the haunting call of the whooping crane blends with the natural sounds of wind and water. The whooping crane undertakes long migrations from the northern Canadian wetlands to the southern United States, where shallow waters provide an abundant food supply. Once dominant across North America's wetlands and grasslands, the whooping crane faced a drastic decline in the early 20th century. Unregulated hunting and habitat loss pushed the species to the brink of extinction. By 1941, only 15 wild individuals remained. But thanks to conservation programs, the population has gradually recovered. As of 2023 to 2024, approximately 800 individuals exist in the wild, primarily within protected areas and key migration corridors. Badlands National Park serves as a critical stopover in the migration journey of this rare bird. Further west, the Shortgrass Prairie unfolds into a dry and rugged landscape, where only hardy plants like blue grama and buffalo grass can thrive. These grasses do not grow tall, but instead spread low across the ground, using deep root systems to tap into hidden water sources below the surface. They have evolved to endure drought, growing slowly but recovering quickly after being grazed by wildlife. No longer do tall grasses sway in the wind, only low, sparse vegetation stretches endlessly across the plain. The soil here is not as fertile as in the Tallgrass Prairie. It is thin, hard-packed, and highly susceptible to erosion, as strong winds sweep across the open plains. The wind sweeps across the parched grasslands of the Shortgrass Prairie, carrying the dry heat of an endless landscape. Beneath the vast sky, pronghorn strides across this challenging ecosystem. Though not a true antelope, the names American antelope, prongbuck, and prairie antelope have long been associated with it, due to its resemblance to Old World antelopes. As the only surviving member of the Antilochipridae family, the pronghorn is most closely related to the giraffe and okapi, a testament to its unique evolutionary history. Millions of years ago, its ancestors competed for survival against swift predators like the American cheetah, a now extinct big cat. To endure, pronghorn developed an exceptional running system. It can reach speeds of 88.5 kilometers per hour, making it faster than any predator currently living in North America. Their bodies are built for maximum running efficiency: a wide trachea, large heart, powerful lungs, and an abundance of red blood cells, allowing rapid oxygen transport to the muscles. Their elongated, two-toed hooves absorb impact forces when landing at high speeds, minimizing injury. With a light but strong skeletal structure and hollow fur, they maintain stable body temperature while crossing the harsh grasslands. Over thousands of years, pronghorn has perfected its survival strategy. Its keen eyesight allows it to detect predators from several kilometers away, ensuring an early escape. When pursued, it not only sprints at incredible speeds, but can maintain high velocities over long distances, forcing any predator to give up the chase. They live in large herds, using numbers as an advantage to spot threats early and protect weaker members. The pronghorn's range extends across the western and central regions of North America. By the 19th century, its population had plummeted due to hunting and agricultural expansion. However, through effective conservation efforts, their numbers have rebounded significantly. Today, pronghorn thrive in the Shortgrass Prairie, where they are perfectly adapted to the dry, demanding conditions of this harsh, yet resilient ecosystem. The midday sun rises over Pawnee National Grassland, casting a soft golden light across the endless shortgrass plains. This is a section of the Shortgrass Prairie, a unique ecosystem in northeastern Colorado, where arid conditions and flat terrain create a harsh yet vibrant landscape. The prairie winds blow endlessly, sweeping across the vast expanse where the sky seems to have no end. Pawnee National Grassland is also a haven for birds of prey. At chalk bluffs, towering white cliffs rise above the flat plains, creating an ideal nesting site for golden eagles. They select high, undisturbed locations where they can survey vast territories with ease. Their nests are not just breeding sites, but fortified structures used for years and expanded each season with twigs, dried grass, and other natural materials. The breeding season begins in early spring. The female lays between 1 and 4 eggs, incubating them for 6 weeks, while the male hunts and defends the territory. When the eggs hatch, the weak and vulnerable chicks emerge. Typically, only 1 or 2 will survive to adulthood, spending the first 3 months under the strict care of their parents. By autumn, they leave the nest, beginning a years-long journey to establish new territories, a process that may take 4 to 5 years before they reach full maturity. Molting is a critical process that influences the golden eagle's flight and survival. This process begins in March or April and extends into September or October, slowing during winter. Feathers on the head, neck, back, and scapulars are replaced annually, while the larger wing and tail feathers follow a sequential pattern known as descendant molting, moving from the inside out. Molting maintains protective feather coverage, enhances flight performance, and ensures these raptors remain in top condition for their long hunts. The golden eagle is regarded as one of the most ecologically and culturally significant birds of prey. For centuries, it has been used in falconry, particularly by nomadic tribes in Asia and indigenous cultures in North America. With its strength and precision, it has been revered as a symbol of power and freedom. Studies in the western United States and western Palearctic have provided valuable insights into their hunting behavior, breeding strategies, and survival tactics in the wild. The sun hangs high over the Chihuahuan desert grasslands, casting waves of heat that shimmer across the landscape. This vast expanse stretches from southern New Mexico, Texas, and Arizona into northern Mexico, covering the states of Chihuahua, Coahuila, and Durango. It is the largest semi-arid grassland in North America, where low-lying hills intermingle with barren prairies, creating a harsh yet mesmerizing wilderness. The climate here is hot and dry year-round. Annual rainfall averages between 250 and 500 millimeters, falling mostly in the summer when sudden storms sweep across the sky, unleashing brief but intense downpours. The sand and soil absorb water quickly, leaving the ground cracked and parched as moisture evaporates under the scorching sun. In border towns near Mexico, the Dia de los Muertos festival is celebrated annually, reflecting a deep-rooted belief in the cycle of life and death in nature. Colorful skeletons, intricately decorated altars, and candlelit processions are familiar sights, serving as a reminder of humanity's connection to the natural world. In this land, where heat and cold are both formidable adversaries, where life must constantly fight to survive, the concept of renewal is more than just a tradition. It is a universal truth. Under the scorching sun, the western diamondback rattlesnake silently slithers across the hot sand, concealed among rocks and dry shrubs. Measuring 1.5 to 2.5 meters in length, it is the largest venomous snake in the southwestern United States. Its distinctive diamond-shaped scales provide excellent camouflage within the Chihuahuan desert grasslands. The western diamondback rattlesnake thrives in diverse environments, from deserts and grasslands to sparse woodlands. It adapts to temperature fluctuations by hiding in burrows or dense vegetation during the day and becoming active at night to hunt. Its hunting strategy is a blend of ambush and lightning-fast attacks. Heat-sensitive pits on its head allow it to detect warm-blooded prey, even in total darkness. When it strikes, the bite occurs in just 0.07 seconds, faster than its victim's reflexes. With a precise bite, it injects potent hemotoxic venom, which destroys tissue, disrupts blood clotting, and paralyzes prey. Proteolytic enzymes in the venom break down structural tissues, aiding in efficient digestion. Other venom components, including zinc, metalloproteinases, cytotoxins, and myotoxins, further damage cells, muscles, and the cardiovascular system of its prey. Despite being a top predator, the western diamondback rattlesnake faces many threats. It hides in burrows or beneath rocks to evade predators such as coyotes, bobcats, and birds of prey like golden eagles. When threatened, it rattles its tail, producing a warning sound to deter attackers without resorting to a venomous strike. Some individuals even use defensive tactics like flicking dirt or small debris to make opponents retreat. The western diamondback rattlesnake plays a crucial role in controlling rodent populations, helping maintain ecological balance in the Chihuahuan desert grasslands. It is also one of the few snake species known to scavenge carrion, assisting in the removal of animal remains from the environment. The dry winds sweep across the California Central Valley grasslands, lifting golden dust particles under the afternoon sun. Here, the climate follows a Mediterranean pattern, with hot, dry summers and cool, wet winters. During the hottest months, temperatures can exceed 40 degrees Celsius, causing the ground to crack and the grass to wither. But when the rainy season arrives, from November to March, sudden downpours revive the seemingly lifeless grasslands. Nestled between the Sierra Nevada mountains to the east and the coast ranges to the west, this grassland was once a vast, lush expanse of vegetation. The fertile soil, enriched by millennia of sediment deposits, provided the perfect conditions for native grasses to thrive. Over time, however, much of the grassland has been transformed. Fields of wheat, almonds, and vineyards have replaced the natural ecosystem. The remaining fragments, such as Great Valley Grasslands State Park, now serve as the last remnants of a landscape that once blanketed nearly the entire valley. Despite its reduced size, the California Central Valley Grasslands remains a biodiversity hotspot. The remaining prairies still support a wide array of wildlife. Scattered wetlands throughout the valley serve as critical stopovers for millions of migratory birds each year, making this region one of North America's most important migration corridors. The moonlight bathes the vast fields of the California Central Valley grasslands, where the barn owl silently watches its prey. With a wingspan of 80 to 95 centimeters, a lightweight body, and soft, silent feathers, the barn owl can fly almost soundlessly, making it a highly efficient nocturnal hunter. They nest in tree cavities, rock crevices, or human-made structures like barns and abandoned buildings. Each breeding season, the female lays between 4 to 7 eggs, incubating them for 30 to 34 days. After hatching, the young owlets are nurtured by their parents for 8 to 10 weeks before embarking on their independent journey. Their high reproductive rate helps maintain stable populations, even in the face of harsh environmental conditions. The barn owl has a global distribution, but in North America, they are most commonly found in open grasslands, agricultural areas, and sparse woodlands. Within the California Central Valley grasslands, they play a crucial role in controlling rodent populations. Their diet consists primarily of voles, rats, and other small mammals. A single adult barn owl can consume 3 to 5 rodents per night, adding up to over 1,000 per year, significantly contributing to ecosystem balance in the grasslands. The barn owl's hunting strategy is a masterful combination of keen eyesight and exceptional auditory perception. Its large, forward-facing eyes provide clear vision even in low-light conditions. However, its advanced hearing system is its greatest weapon. With asymmetrically positioned ears, it can pinpoint the exact location of prey, even in total darkness. Once it detects a target, the barn owl dives swiftly, using its razor-sharp talons to snatch prey in an instant. Under the vast, open sky, the red-tailed hawk soars, scanning for even the slightest movement on the ground. Rising warm air currents from the grasslands help support its wide, gliding circles as it searches for prey. Spring brings significant changes in the life cycle of the red-tailed hawk. Faithful mating pairs begin nest building on tall trees or cliff ledges, often reusing the same nest for years, reinforcing it with new materials each season. The female lays between 1 to 3 eggs with an incubation period of 28 to 35 days. The young hatchlings remain under parental care for about 6 to 7 weeks, gradually learning to fly and hunt under the watchful guidance of their parents. In the California Central Valley grasslands, where food is abundant, the red-tailed hawk thrives in an ideal hunting environment. They strategically use the landscape to their advantage, perching on high vantage points such as power poles, large tree branches, or cliffs, patiently waiting for the right moment to strike. Though primarily diurnal hunters, they also remain active at dusk, when low-light conditions still allow them to utilize their exceptional vision. Rodent colonies, snakes, and small birds provide a nutrient-rich food source, playing a crucial role in the ecosystem's food chain. Their vision, 8 times sharper than a human's, allows them to detect prey from hundreds of meters above. When the perfect moment arrives, they dive at speeds over 190 kilometers per hour, using their razor-sharp talons to seize prey, delivering a swift, precise kill with their powerful hooked beak. As the sun sets behind the coast ranges, the vineyards glow red under the golden hues of twilight. Stretching endlessly toward the horizon, the vineyards of Central Valley produce about 40% of the United States' total food supply. Long-established vine-growing regions, combined with native vegetation, create ecological corridors, allowing wildlife to move through landscapes that have been drastically transformed. Some vineyards have adopted sustainable farming methods, planting cover crops to reduce erosion while also providing habitats for native insects and birds, which continue to play essential roles in the natural food chain. With its Mediterranean climate, summers in the California Central Valley are hot and dry, with temperatures exceeding 40 degrees Celsius. Dry winds sweep through the grasslands, carrying heat from the interior deep into the valley. But when winter arrives, the skies turn gray, and rains from November to March restore moisture, reviving the vegetation and transforming the landscape into a contrast of harshness and lush greenery. Annual rainfall varies between 150 to 500 millimeters, primarily during winter, allowing native plants like Nacella pulchra and Eschscholzia californica to flourish before the dry season returns. Lodi, a small town nestled in the valley, is renowned for its historic vineyards and is often referred to as the New Napa. Visitors come not only to savor the rich Zinfandel wines, but also to witness migratory bird flocks seeking refuge along the region's wetlands. San Luis National Wildlife Refuge serves as a critical stopover along the Pacific Flyway, where thousands of waterfowl, from Anas platyrhynchus to Grus canadensis, pass through each fall and spring. Farther north, smaller preserves such as the Cozumnes River Preserve safeguard some of the last remaining untouched grasslands in the valley. Winding trails meander through lowland habitats where nature enthusiasts can spot mule deer grazing at dawn or hear the echoing calls of ferruginous hawks circling above. For those seeking a slower connection to nature, a leisurely walk through vineyard-covered paths, followed by a wine-tasting session at an eco-friendly winery, offers a harmonious balance between humans and the natural world. As a subspecies of elk found only in California, the Tule elk has perfectly adapted to a diverse landscape, ranging from the wetlands of the Central Valley to the coastal grass-covered hills. Unregulated hunting and urbanization pushed them to the brink of extinction by the late 19th century. At that time, only a few dozen individuals remained in the wild. However, timely conservation efforts led to the successful recovery of the Tule elk. Today, their population has rebounded to approximately 5,700 individuals, residing in protected areas such as the Central Valley, Point Reyes National Seashore, and Carrizo Plain National Monument. The vast sky stretches over the North American grasslands, where endless fields of grasslands serve as a home to countless species of wildlife. Yet, behind this wild beauty lie growing challenges that are reshaping the fate of the creatures that inhabit this landscape. The future of the North American grasslands ecosystem remains dependent on how humans choose to treat this land. Challenges continue to rise, but with ongoing conservation efforts, there is still hope to preserve the wilderness that has been a home to countless species for thousands of years. Conservation efforts are actively underway to restore lost grasslands. The American Prairie Reserve has expanded by 500,000 acres in Montana, creating new habitats for pronghorn and burrowing owls. In Kansas, the Tallgrass Prairie National Preserve is restoring over 10,000 acres of native grasslands, helping revive the western meadowlark, Sternella neglecta, population. Along the pronghorn migration corridor, fences are being removed to expand more than 1,000 miles of migration routes from Wyoming to Montana. The pronghorn population has increased by 15% since this corridor was protected. The gray wolf reintroduction program in the Great Plains is helping control white-tailed deer populations, reducing vegetation pressure by 25%. Farms in North Dakota and South Dakota are transitioning to sustainable agriculture, cutting pesticide use by 40%, helping protect grassland birds from decline. Under the vast blue sky, this ecosystem is gradually regaining balance. Small changes are making a big impact. Every individual can contribute to protecting the North American grasslands through practical actions. Supporting conservation organizations, backing grassland restoration projects, and reducing the use of environmentally harmful agricultural products are crucial steps. Participating in volunteer programs, educating communities about the importance of this ecosystem, and promoting eco-friendly lifestyles will create long-term positive effects. By working together to preserve natural landscapes, we not only help wildlife survive, but also safeguard nature's legacy for future generations. And if you have ever visited the wild grasslands of North America, don't hesitate to share your knowledge and experiences in the comments below. Your stories will be a source of inspiration and motivation for conservation efforts, while also preserving this ecosystem for generations to come. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to join us on the next magical adventure. Or you can continue following the survival journeys of wildlife in other regions with wild Yellowstone, ruthless predators and majestic wilderness, or harsh Alaska. The survival struggle of wildlife.